is only one Ramon Foster. Hence, there is only one Ramon Foster show. He, of the 11 years in the National Football League, starting left guard, all 11 of those for the Pittsburgh Steelers, just a single franchise. Don't be fooled when you see him occasionally associated with some other entity. You know, man's got to pay his bills, and the man did go to college and everything, so we kind of forgive him for that. But the Pittsburgh Steelers component, that can't be erased. It's all 11 years.
It is, man. I may have a little bit more involvement this fall too, man, but we'll keep that low until something actually. Maybe DK, maybe baby, man. We'll see. You'll be the first to know, is what I'm telling you.
Oh, clearly.
Yeah, maybe. I'm not sure, but hey, I appreciate that. You're right, DK. This is America, right? Like, there's a little bit of capitalism and opportunity, land of the free, and all those types of things. So we might as well capitalize on all the things that's in front of us there.
Gotta go where you gotta go. You know, you gotta get it done. What?
I like calling you by your government name every once in a while,
like
man.
Government name.
Government name. You know what I'm saying? Dayan. You know what I'm saying? It's like, because yours gets messed up, I'm sure, exactly like mine. I got called Raymond the other day. I'm just like, really?
You want to know what's funny? The other day, this was I guess now it's been a couple of weeks since minicamp. Corey Trice from the Steelers. He, everybody just calls me DK. So it's just, you don't have to think about whatever, right? But he's looking at my name tag, which we have to wear in there, of course. And he's going, help me out with that. So he wants to go through the whole thing, every part of the process of the name. Like, all right, now let me try yours. I'm playing with him. Oh yeah, here, look, Corey Trice Jr. All right, wasn't quite as hard.
Yeah, not at all, man. It took me a little bit to get it too. So, but we're here now. But somehow they mess up ours. For the longest, I just thought yours was Dejan.
Oh, I can see that. I get also a lot of the whole, they think it's Spanish because they see the J like Juan.
See, if they ever just assumed mine was Spanish, we'd be 100% correct, DK.
Oh, good call.
Ramon. They see what I'm saying? Like, it's Raymond, I guess, because I'm a black guy and they think it's like Damon. But listen, we're
or like the noodles.
Well, I say ramen.
Ramen.
Yeah. You say ramen noodles? I know people that do say ramen noodles, though.
I just say keep them away from me is what I say when they come around.
You don't like a little hot pot?
No, kids love them.
I was about to say, man, those spots are legit, DK. Well, okay, not for everybody. I get it. Noodles are a mainstay, though.
Yeah, I could see that. Around the corner here in Market Square, we have a place called Noodles and Company that we really enjoy. It's got all kinds of stuff. You just walk everything under the sun that involves a noodle. They've got, whether it's soup or stroganoff or whatever. It's actually really, really cool.
That's fascinating. You gave them a shout out like that. They need to go ahead and just become sponsors too. Then, like, go ahead and tell them.
I didn't really mean to do that. I didn't mean to do that here. Let's get a special guest in here. You'll never guess who popped up in the shop today. This is a very familiar name from our community here. This is Fishing for Trout. You bent it into the camera here. Where's our guy? Where's our guy?
How you doing? Look at that.
Hey, Moan, it's hump day.
Hump day.
He just totally blew you away here.
Ask him, does he goes fishing or he goes catching? Which one is it?
Do you go fishing or catching? Which one? He wants to know.
Fishing or catching? Both.
Yeah, both, he says.
Okay, see?
Depends on the mood.
Depends on the mood and his wrist.
Depends on the mood and the wrist. Exactly.
Yeah.
It's great to have you in here, my man. That's great. Just total surprise. She walked in and she's like, yeah, Fishing for Trout is here. Like, do you know who Fishing for Trout is? I go, yeah.
I love putting faces with the names we get, man.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
that's always good stuff. So the problem here, Moan,
what we got
with this particular episode is that it has to follow the last episode. And the problem also is that when you set the bar at a certain level and you're going to have one of those games that's completely sack-free, nobody beat you, you ran for 150 yards, no sacks, is that you got to come up big the following week. What do you have for us 1 week in advance of reporting date? where's the athlete's mind? Where are you in terms of your? I don't have to ask about training anymore. It's 2025, but where
That's
are
part
you?
of it, though.
But it's your show.
This last week right here, I think we're almost exactly 1 week away from training camp, from it actually being real.
Mm-hmm.
So it's fascinating. A lot of anxiety goes up even more, I feel like, the week going into it, because after this upcoming weekend, there's nothing left. Like your behind belong to me and the team and everything else involved at that point, man. That's usually the way coaches treat it. So for me, DK, it was always, all right, I'll probably do one more dinner with my wife, and family and stuff like that, just to get it together. But the mentality of the football player going into these situations is, I'll be honest with you, DK, I'll speak for myself. It's like, okay, let's go to hell. Like, that's essentially what it somewhat turns into. Like, it's fun. Like, I don't think hell is fun, but like, it's fun because I get to be around my guys. I get to be in the mix. I get to go do what I love. I get the opportunity, DK, as you said earlier, to get back on pace to providing for my family. Because here's a little pro tip too. Like, you don't get paid in the off season. That's the other part. And you want to hear
not in any sports. People don't know that.
No, you get paid for your services up until a certain point, and then like there are some guys, DK, that blow it. To be quite honest with you, I think the money's a little bit more now to where they don't run into those issues. But there's a lot of guys that are chasing checks this time of the year. A lot of guys are trying to make sure that they are playing football again, because the reality of it is, and like I said, like I consider it somewhat hell, or like anxiety goes up because it can end, DK. And I think that people don't understand like the pressure that the coaches feel, but specifically the players, because more times than not, coaches have a specific skill set of networking. Players don't have that for the most part. You can get injured and then get cut with the injury settlement, and that's the end of your career for the rest of your life.
You're done.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and it ain't many times guys lose jobs in training camp like that. There's usually like an open competition, but like there's always in the back of your mind, I'm chasing the opportunity to show how relevant I am. I had a football coach today it was a college football coach today on my show that I do here in Nashville, and he was speaking about the catapult, DK. The catapult is a GPS system that they strap on guys where it looked like they got on like tank tops.
Okay.
Or like those things.
What those are.
Yes. So that's the GPS tracker, DK. It tracks how fast you're running, how long you're running, how far you're running. And it also can tell you, DK, how much of an explosion you have. So if I'm coming off the line of scrimmage, DK, let's say consistently as an 8. But let's say by year 7, I'm coming off as a 6. There's a lot that can be said about you and your play and your ability to sustain a high level in the NFL. That's one thing I dislike about the GPS is all this AI stuff that they use in football these days, DK. It's awesome for the technology and information that you get. But here's what sucks about it. It can also tell when you're doing this. And that's, again, an added pressure, added anxiety, DK, as it pertains to you doing your job that you know you love, but you don't ever want to live that life to where you're rescinding. And that's where, to me, hearing a coach today say, last year our numbers were here, and this year we're like a 9 or two times as much as we had. It sucks, DK. I'll be honest with you, with training camp, that's why I'll say, like, the way we do training camp in Pittsburgh or in Latrobe, PA at St. Vincent College, those, like, in front of the dorm nights, those softball games that guys have, the comedy show that we have, it is a necessary escape, DK, for the mental gymnastic that you have to play with yourself in those moments. So for me, my last week is to be as relaxed as you possibly can. I'll do the conditioning test one more time, because if I can't pass our conditioning test, I need to be cut. Okay, DK?
Jeez.
It's not a joke, but it's meant to get you ready to go battle. And a lot of guys come in, and I've seen smaller dudes, and I've said this before, I've seen smaller dudes fail it because they're so uptight. They can't get to they can't hit the down and back because they're thinking about everything else but actually what they're naturally good at.
What they're right.
It's
they're not
so
staying
weird
in themselves. Yeah.
So like it's funny though. Like now you got me going. It's funny because a lot of people view like us as players like everybody's like big and strong and how much do you lift? The weights don't matter. They don't. Like, either you can play football or you can't. I've seen some of the baddest body dudes ever play football and be absolutely studs at it, DK. And I've seen some Tarzans that play like Jane, respectfully. And I think Jane was a badass herself, okay?
Yeah, Jane.
Exactly. But what I'm saying is this. What training camp does is, if you're capable of having a mindset of doing the exact same thing, DK, and you know it is too. It's the exact same thing over and then over and then over and over again, then you have a real strong opportunity into making it. And the best thing, and honestly, DK, is the worst thing about being in Latrobe, what I didn't notice everybody else did not do in the 31 other NFL camps, there's a crowd every single day.
It's something that when people come from other teams,
it's weird.
It's so funny. You know who talked about that a lot?
Who?
Last year was Justin Fields.
Did he?
Now think about the teams that he's played for in the markets.
Atlanta, okay. Flowery Branch, yep, and Chicago.
And Chicago. And you look at what he's done and where he's where he's been in the market. He goes, this is all public.
Yeah.
It's like every day.
Yeah.
So you can either be somebody who wilts from that, or you can be Antonio Brown.
Yeah.
That was AB in Latrobe. After every catch, he'd come over to the crowd, hold the football up, and the crowd's going berserk. And you're like, this is training camp.
Exactly, man. But it's been that way for a long time. I'll just speak for the coach that I had do it for us, and how he displayed it. I will put it on display for us. And he was just like, if you can perform in front of this crowd, you can perform anywhere, because this is let's call it probably the 1% of people that show up every single day that makes the entire stadiums that you have to perform in front of, DK. And one thing I've always said too about Pittsburgh fans is it's not just a generic fan base that just, oh yeah. No, they know when you screw up.
They know when you screw up. They really do. It goes quiet.
Yeah, and it hardens you, man. If you are right-minded, it really takes you to a place, DK, to where, like, I think every NFL team, most of high schools, if their budgets can't afford it, and college should go away for camp. It puts you in the most purest football sense and mindset. I don't think anybody understands it. My high school coach did it with us, and and in the NFL, we went away for camp. And there's a payoff in that, DK, because you remove all the madness and the comforts of life. And you got to focus in on that one thing. And that's why I think football is so important in Pittsburgh. I know I've gone for a very long time, DK, but you ask me what's my mindset, it's legitimately get as comfortable as I can for 4 or 5 weeks of hell is what it is, DK.
Now, when we come back here on the Ramon Foster Show, I have a question for you about one specific thing that you brought up in this segment that I made a mental, like a footnote to bring up with you when we come back, which is right after this.
At DK Pittsburgh Sports, we take pride in coverage that connects our city's fans to their favorite teams. Now, that connection's stronger than ever. Introducing our all-new state-of-the-art app. Find expert inside reporting and original podcasts. Check live box scores. Track the latest stats. Chat it up with our community of thousands of fans, all in one place. The new app from DK Pittsburgh Sports. Coverage that connects.
Ramon, you mentioned, like you glossed over it, but I know it means a lot to you.
Yeah.
You said that right around this time and getting ready for camp, you'll have a dinner with the family.
Yeah.
And something like that. Now, it's your show. You could get into whatever you do or don't want to get into, but like I'm picturing, because I know you're not taking them with you.
No.
Okay. The older guys who have the wives and some who even have kids in their playing days, you're not taking the family to Latrobe.
No, absolutely not.
So when you're saying whether it's just a wife or whoever, what is that like? I mean, it's not like, I don't make it sound overly dramatic, like you're going to battle or something. But they know you're gonna be gone for a while.
You know what? It's that, and it becomes somewhat of the norm too for most. Like I think I went for so long that I think my kids thought it was the norm too. Just like, oh, it's that time of the year. Like
There he goes. Yeah.
We're all on the clock, and not to say they didn't take it for granted, but like I was fortunate in a lot of different ways, DK, to where every year was I'm going for camp and hey, I'll see you guys later. Like my oldest was born in 2008. I made it to the NFL in 2009. My youngest was born while I was in the NFL in Pittsburgh too. So that was life for a very long time. Like a lot of stuff don't surprise them. So it was work as usual. Now for my wife, it was a situation where it's okay, it's a little bit of double time duty because hey, Dad's not in the house. Got to make sure the communication is always there too. And you got to have I would say a strong and understanding spouse to be able to deal with some of that though too, because you do go missing from like 6 a.m. to about 8 o'clock at night. And so calls, communications is a part of it, DK. But for the most part, I will say, most of the guys' families that I know fully understand it. Like some of the younger guys probably have their girls come around a little bit more just because it's new and stuff like that. But you do live like a 2 separate lives for about 5 weeks. Now, you get breaks and stuff like that during the week, DK, but it's a day and then we're back.
It's a day, and it's a day where you're just looking at the wallpaper.
Yeah, just going in and check in real quick, but that's about it. But what I would tell you is this. I had a rider, a true trooper, though, DK, as it pertains to the understanding of what I needed, because what I will say, most of the players that I know that do have spouses or kids and stuff like that, the family day is phenomenal. Everybody brings their kids up. There's a barbecue, there's games on the baseball field at Latrobe and stuff
running
like
up
that.
the grass hills, can't get hurt.
Absolutely.
It's all perfect, yeah.
And it's always on the most brutal day too. Short yardage and goal line.
Hey, look at Daddy out there getting pancakes.
Banging his head around for us right now. But it's funny though, because like I don't pressure either one of my boys to play football. My oldest is baseball, and my youngest though is he's all football for sure. But what I'll say, they chose their own pathway in it. It wasn't a hey by force type of situation. They chose to do what they do. And my biggest thing was, man, we're gonna have fun as long as you enjoy what you're doing.
You know, it's funny when you think of whether it's an NFL player giving a retirement speech or a Hall of Fame speech or anything like that. There is a reason. I don't want to take the show totally off the rails here, but
go ahead, do it.
Mostly from the Keisha perspective here, because there is a reason that the athletes can get through pretty much anything that they're talking about until they get to the wife, and then they choke up.
Yeah.
Okay, because they know who made it possible.
Mm-hmm.
They know who was actually doing the lifting, so to speak. Okay, speaking of lifting, okay, they know who was doing the heaviest lifting is the kid that's squirming all over the place and doesn't want to be lifted. And I'm just picturing your week before training camp, like, man, I've never loved you more.
No, for real.
Right now, you know what I'm saying? And the call every night from the dorm room.
Yeah, seriously, like all of that matters. And you know what's even crazier though? Is that was one of my bigger adjustments in retirement, being more involved. Like,
oh, you're here now. Oh, you're here. Oh, yeah. You can do the trash. You can do that.
And I promise you, we're gonna talk football because y'all got some great questions coming up too, man.
I'm stacking them up here. Yeah.
But here's the thing: like getting reintroduced to your family is probably one of the biggest things. Because what I will say is, because the earning side of it, because of like how important the performance of like playing on national television more times than not in the primetime games, like there's a lot that you don't know and you get removed from because of your spouse. The kids have this going on with dad can't be there. Well, I'll handle it. That type of stuff. There's a lot that I got reintroduced to, DK, that in retirement, it is dad is dadding. All right, Fish.
We're waving to Fish. See, Fish, thanks for coming in. Fishing for trout was here.
That was a great question, DK, real quick from the Arkansas fan. I want to get to that one first because I think that's important. Mike and them.
Here it is. It's right here. Mike says, Steelers fan from Arkansas. I'm just curious, is the Latrobe y'all come on in?
South Phantom, yes.
Or do they sell tickets to that?
It's free.
It's
It
free.
is 100% free. Now, what I would tell you, Mike, and your people, y'all, because we're in the South, okay, or yins when you come to Pittsburgh, yins need to get there early. Training camp practice starts at 2:55.
155 this year.
1:55.
Yeah, 155 this year. Coach is doing some different things. It was great when he was asked why he's doing them. He said he wants to make it more uncomfortable for the players. He actually said this.
Oh my God.
Now you can totally hear that man speaking those words, can't you?
I hate that. See, let's look at me now. I feel like my palms have gotten sweaty by hearing him
He
say
just
that.
did it to you.
Because there are no parameters on how much you can meet, okay? But it's also a fragile part for this team. And to be quite honest with you, DK, I do think that's a part of the late show up of Aaron Rodgers, too, if I can be honest with you.
Oh, okay.
Just me thinking about why he would do it. Well, start practice earlier, get it done sooner. Therefore, we can have more meeting times in the evening if we need them. Does that make sense? Because
It really does.
A-Rod's got to get caught up. Like, he mentioned it for everybody, but I guarantee it's specifically for one particular person. There's nothing wrong with that, too.
Chris
Get uncomfortable.
points out here, too, as it relates to what we were just talking about with Moan and the leaving for camp and the coming back and the reintroduction to the whole family after football retirement. He says all veterans here understand the reintroduction. It's a lot more complicated than might be realized. A literal salute and thank you to you, Chris,
Absolutely,
and to everybody.
Chris. Thank you.
Everybody who has served, including our own Alejandro Villanueva.
Who I talked to the other day, he sent me a GIF the other day. Yeah, that's my guy. Al and I have some deep talks, man. He's a goofball first, but we talk world issues and everything, man.
Dom comes in and says, "Hey, Moan, first time question, but a long time listener. I always like when somebody steps out from under the shadows there. How come nobody brings up Jack Sawyer as much as the other premier draft picks from this year? I feel like we got a real playmaker with him. Moan, I'm going to guess that it's because he plays a position where nobody's thinking he's going to get on the field. I mean, how do you come into the Pittsburgh defense as an edge rusher and go, hey, everybody, I'm here?
Yeah. Well, it's twofold for me. I'll say this real quick. Nobody talked about Nick Herbig until he made a play, and I love that.
Oh, and then he just kept making plays.
I love that. That is defensively, DK. Don't you got to earn your stripes a little bit more in Pittsburgh? I feel like it's at that position.
You have to earn them, but you have to earn them through, and I think this is what you're getting at here. Make yourself seen. Make a play.
Yeah.
Here, look. Go ask me what my number is after that sequence. Who was that? Oh yeah, 51. Look, 51.
Who's going to be the first ones over there? Y'all, right, DK? Like, you can't wait to talk about them, okay? But the reason I don't think, like, Jack Sawyer's been talked about is because there's questions about TJ at this point. Heck, I saw something earlier this week where it's still early midweek is this hump day, but, like, I saw something still about TJ potentially being traded or talks like that. Like, we discussed last week, that deal's going to get done.
Yeah.
These deals happen with Omar and the Steelers, I feel like, in training camp. I could be 100% wrong, but I'll tell you this. The ones that are guys that are Pittsburgh legacies, these deals get done in training camp. I don't really have too much of an issue with it. But the other side of it is for Jack Sawyer is I'm almost in a point, DK, at his size. I'm trying to figure out where do you play him? You know who I think of when you mention him being about, 6'3", 6'4", 250 plus?
Yeah.
Lamar Woodley.
There's some of that. Now, Woodley had exceptional before his injury.
Yeah.
Had unbelievable quickness, like cat-like crazy stuff.
That's what I'm saying.
So I don't know that about Sawyer. I don't think he lasts that long if he's Woodley. But
yeah, here's the other part about Sawyer too. His role, what are you asking him of? I'm almost viewing him, DK, as a run stopper more than a pass rusher too. Mm-hmm. I got a feeling he'll end up being in some subsets, man, if he earns it to where he can rush over the guard or in between guard tackle type stuff. Like I don't see him as a blazer, DK, off the edge. He's a finish. Like, you don't have to worry about him type of player.
Yeah, if you mentioned Nick Herbig, and Herbig is a guy who relies almost entirely on that quickness, on that dynamism, whereas you're thinking probably more in this case of an Alex Highsmith type who's just really stout and gets that job done over there. You know what? You said earlier that we have some some great questions. We do. So I'm going to start going with some rapid fire.
All right, let's do it.
Hey Moan here, and making this the only segment that actually matters in the show. It is actually. It actually is. This is great from Vic. Says, hey Moan, how well do you think Aaron Rodgers is going to adjust to sleeping on that twin mattress in the dorm rooms at St. Vincent?
I'm going to tell you, I'm going to pull the curtain back real quick.
Here it comes, kids.
There's a company that you can rent beds, TVs, refrigerators, recliners, okay, king-size beds, and everything else in between, okay? Aaron Rodgers will not be sleeping on that. Heck, somebody from Sleep Number might bring him a bed to Latrobe is what I'm telling you. But for the rookies, you ain't got no choice.
Now, this is the Latrobe Acme. We will stock your dorm room up. When the company gets officially endorsed, by the way, by second reference on this program, Antonio Brown.
Yes, sir. You best believe it, man. Now, you have the ability to rent beds and everything else in between. It'll be in your dorm room by the time you get there. I used to love it. My room was right here and Pouncer's on the other side. King meds, 2 TVs, and recliners.
Heldon Daddy says, hey, Mo, now that it's been a minute since you hung up the cleats, any thoughts on jumping into coaching at some level? Ramon, for anybody who doesn't know, just got himself a pretty good gig as color commentator for the University of Tennessee football program this fall.
No. I coach my son's middle school, my youngest son's middle school. So I am in the coaching world. I got my morning show now, and they're moving the practices to the evening next week. So I'll be out there with a bucket hat on and teaching up the young youth of America, man. But as far as a higher level, I'm too hard. My expectations are way different, and I'll be make me assistant O-line coach.
You would be, you know what you would be? You would be the kind of coach that Troy would be. You would be constantly disappointed in everyone. And tell me I'm wrong.
You're not.
Okay. That's Troy. Troy would just be that guy. He wouldn't even get frustrated. He wouldn't say anything. Troy Polamalu, obviously. Troy would just go into the corner and just go, what am I doing here?
Seriously.
Where's Aaron Smith? Can I get myself an actual football player here? That would be him.
Well, and my other part would be if I saw guys, like I like to pour into like kids a lot, like when I'm coaching now, and I know we're going quick, but what I would say is this: I would be ticked off for guys that wasted it. I would want to cut kids and be like, yeah, you got to go. I ain't got no time for you right now. My patience would be way too low for that. I smile because I know I can be a jerk about like what I'm passionate about, if that makes sense.
No, good stuff here lined up here. Jason Williams says, hey, Moan, being in the NFL, did you fulfill your goals?
Yes, I did. It got sideswiped by not getting drafted and stuff like that. That one still is just like, how? But while I was in it, it wasn't easy, but everything that I wanted to do, I did. Heck, I'd have never thought I'd be starting in the Super Bowl my second year. Did we win it? No, lost to Aaron Rodgers. Now I got to cheer him on. The other part was like getting one of the postseason accolades like Pro Bowl. Like I was the first alternate one year and second another year, never did get it. But besides like my goals, I left the game, and the reason people ask me to come back, I don't want to. I did everything I wanted to do, DK. Like my desire to punch a man, unless somebody wants to try me one time on a one-on-one for one rep, I satisfy every single side. I'm an undrafted dude that played 11 years.
And it didn't, you and the undrafted thing, it didn't matter to you when Kevin Colbert showed you where the Steelers had you graded.
Where's the paper at?
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know. I got it somewhere.
Yeah, he showed you where they had you graded. And it didn't, you're still round. Like, okay, great, but you know what? You didn't actually do it, did you? Like meaning to them, you could say to Kevin, okay, yeah, that's fine, but you didn't pull the trigger. You didn't pull the trigger. You can have me on a piece of paper wherever you want.
They handed me my scout paper, and it was by far one of the most just like really moments ever in my life.
I'm sure.
He didn't lie. As soon as I walked in that building, it's like, we had a 3rd round grade on you.
Yeah.
It's a lot of words I want to say on this family network that I can't say right now.
Yeah, no, but I get that too, though, because people hear terms like that and they instantly think, oh, this is just draft day BS or whatever. No, they actually have a board that goes from here to here. And I believe it goes 200 deep or something like that. Or there's
here and across too. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And those guys, most of those guys don't get picked at all, by the way. That's how different everybody's draft boards are out of the 32 teams. Dave Black puts you on the spot here and says, "Hey, Moan, what good camp stories do you have? Give us one good camp story." I told a good camp story with Ramon Foster on my double shot show yesterday.
Did you?
I did.
My first one.
I did. It was a Pro Football Focus story.
You guys suck. Yeah. Yeah. My first one.
No, it was y'all grades suck.
Yeah, y'all grades suck. Yeah.
Never get that quote wrong.
They've gotten a little bit better now.
They've cleaned up their act a little bit. They've added more people. They've added more diligence. They've added more open-mindedness. They've added some element of the player / human factor to it. Now all they need to do is to get all that quarterback win rush pass rate crap out of their systems and understand that the only goal is to actually get to that quarterback and to do some damage.
Cool camp story real quick. My first one ever. Here I am. I told you a second ago, Dave, I'm undrafted guy, so my nerves is through the roof right now. I don't know what's from what, who's who, and why am I here almost, but I want to make this doggone team. So first day in pads, man, I get worked over by Casey Hampton, Kursky, Kiesel, Nick. I think Nick Eason was there. I'm in the blender. What I'm telling you, if you got one of those high-powered ninja blenders, I'm in there, okay? And my mind is like, I'm about to go home in day one. All right, I'm cool. I'm already hard on myself. We go to the team meetings in the classroom at Latrobe. We go in the room. Coach Tomlin's loud, man. Room is dark. Whiteboard is up there. He clicks the clicker. He goes to the next slide. It's don't take it with my face on there. And I'm like, Coach, I know I had a bad day already. And then he continues to show the reps of me getting my you-know-what whooped, man. And I'm thinking, y'all just won the Super Bowl. Why are you calling out the undrafted guy? You know what's crazy about it? I was so ticked off and just livid behind that. And I was just like, it's never going to happen again. But what's even crazier is the next day, you know what happens when I walk down to practice? Coach Tomlin walks up to me and he said, hey, big fella, don't take it.
Don't take it.
You know what happened again the next day, DK? He told me again, don't take it. Then I started to get pissed off behind. Like, why are you talking to me? You got a 3rd round and a 7th round over there in my draft class. Why are you talking to me? Coach Tomlin, man, which is why I love him so much. He knows how to get the most out of guys. Every single day, DK, for a year plus.
I love this story.
He told me.
I've heard it. I love this.
He told me, don't take it. And I asked him, why you keep saying that to me, man? And he was just like, because I need you to understand what you are as a player, why I'm owning you. And then it became not my thing, but like I started getting guys like Coach T, who gonna be our don't take it guy. Robert Golden was one of those guys. Rosie Nix was one of those guys, and just a plethora of guys. BJ Finney was one of those guys that you say to him, don't take it. Like if man, I got Coach Tomlin gets me, man. I'm being quite honest with you.
You know, there are lots of legitimate areas which to criticize the head coach, but the individuality of his instruction and his motivation and what he does, he finds a player. I'm preaching to the choir here with Ramon. I'm sharing it with everybody else.
Just you tell it from your perspective, so I ain't lying.
They don't think it's just you, okay? He'll remember you, but he'll remember you in a certain way, some kind of mental image that pops into his head. Everyone's heard the Mike Hilton stories because those were vocal and those were visible to everybody. But all of Latrobe saw Mike Hilton making the team because they saw the interactions between the coach. They heard them because they were screaming it across the fields, right? Okay, well, he'll do that with guys, but there is a separator here. If he doesn't think you have it, he don't even know your name. I'm just saying it like it is.
But that's just it.
It's nice that you're here, but he's not going to take the time to do what he just did with you here. Cody Silva comes in with a $10 contribution and says, hey, 73, was Bill Cowher as intimidating as he was on TV? I've seen a video of a reporter asking him how he thinks the team did after a response, and Ramon didn't play for Bill Cowher.
But what I would say, like me meeting Cowher was very pleasant. He smiled, shook my hand, was very, cordial and everything. I never had Cowher, but the stories that I heard from the guys that played with Coach Cowher, though, was a menace. Yes, he was. One of the coolest stories Willie Colon told us is training camp in rain happens all the time because it's in the open, right? And they said one day, man, they just knew they weren't going to get practice. They weren't going to have practice. And Willie Colon said, hey, I saw Coach Cowell walk down on the field. He's in the middle of the football field, and he got that square jaw.
Yeah.
He said, and that square bleeping chin of his went up to the sky. And he said it was as if God himself parted the clouds and it was sunny and we practiced that day. He was like, that's my heart. Man, it was so intimidating, Cody. He scared the clouds away, man. Let the guys
scared the
tell
clouds
it.
away.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Yeah, he had a thing for doing it with punters. I know that.
Yeah, he did that.
Over in southern England, Three Rivers says, I'm starting to get excited about watching Caleb Johnson. I could never understand why Najee Harris got away with running upright into traffic. You know what?
He almost lost an eye.
Yeah, that's unrelated, but but he's fine apparently.
Yeah, he's fine.
Yeah. Not everybody was. Who was this? Ramon, for anybody who doesn't know, is referring to a fireworks accident out in California. Yeah.
My bad. Let me turn on this light. It got dark. We got a storm. It's, I think, a pop up.
Yeah. You got it. But anyway, he's asking about Caleb Johnson. Caleb Johnson, there's not much to be said for how anybody performs at OTAs and minicamp, but he has turned heads with the Steelers in general. They are very impressed with him. They are very excited about him, and they see him as being a legitimate, not a side piece, a legitimate piece of their offense heading into the 2025 season right from the start, as long as he can
pick up protections.
That's it. You got to pass the test.
From one of my sources, I heard this guy is not exactly but has the capabilities of being a fifth wide receiver.
He can do a lot, and they are not ruling out utilizing.
Le'Veon. Yeah,
they're not ruling out any component of utilizing him, or, by the way, Jalen Warren or Kenny Gainwell. Remember that when you get yourself an Aaron Rodgers, there's some negativity to that given his age, but the positivity is that he's going to see all of these people. Yeah, okay. Buddy. This isn't like you're wondering, oh no, are we giving him too many weapons? There is no such creature.
No. And the other parts of your point too, DK, just to double back on that question, the running back room is way more dynamic. And I think it's because you don't have the premier guy. Like Najee had to get the lion's share, first round draft pick, et cetera, that goes along with it. I feel like now you can pick and choose which weapon you want to use more.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, they've got a lot of good things going on offensively, or at least promising, but all of that is contingent, as always, on everybody who is up front. And we have a question on that account. I have it right here. Yes, here it is. It comes from Brazil. Luis says, "Hey Moan," I can't do it in Portuguese or with a Portuguese accent, but greetings from Rio de Janeiro. Why do you think that Broderick Jones sometimes doesn't finish his blocks? Is it something technical? Is it lack of experience? Luis goes on to say that he loves the show and never misses one.
What I would tell you is this. I think it's maturity. I think it's expectation, too. You got to think, looking at Broderick, just look at his build. He's a phenomenal athlete. Not that you think he's like
specimen. Yeah.
Stuff comes easy to him is what I'm telling you. Guys like that have to learn how to finish because everything else is easy. And not just that, but you're not just a shark amongst a bunch of little small dolphins or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You are amongst a bunch of sharks yourself. And I think that component of his game is the growth factor that Broderick needs. And I will also add this little caveat to it too. That is also why I think when you look at our departure, meaning my group, me, myself, Marquise, Al, Dave, and even Matt Fowler, there were no OGs there to tell him and force him, hey, yo, bleep better friggin' finish this block. Mm-hmm. That's what I got. That's what Marquise got. We gave that to other guys. So I do think there was a separator of how to that Broderick didn't get. But you know what? Money's on the line now, though.
Yeah, it's a little bit different, too. And that's something that most definitely pushes a lot more buttons than I think people realize on the field. And not everybody is as open and honest about it as the gentleman off to my side here.
And let me go ahead and get Michael's question real quick, too. Mike. Mm-hmm. Mike said, I think Brod's elbow was bothering him even more after the brace. Mike, we don't care. You crossed them white lines. I assume you are more healthy than you are not. What I'm getting at is this. Don't make excuse for Broderick in the elbow. He walked out there. He assumed all things that come his way. That's the expectation, is what I'm telling you. So if he was injured, don't go out there.
Useless Knowledge says, hey, Moan, does the guy behind you, meaning the quarterback, of course, put pressure on the offensive line to perform? Did like Ben ever chew you guys out the way you would see Tom Brady do all the time?
From time to time, he would, especially in those big games. Like he'd say something, or he knew we were jacklegging around. There was a play that was probably wide open. It was more of those times than anything. Like, hey, guys.
And he didn't get a chance to make it.
He didn't get a chance to get it. And to be quite honest with you, it'd be the guys that was probably a little bit more least experienced. In those moments,
he's not coming at you and Marquise and Dave. Okay.
Or he sent message, like through Munch or something like that. Like we were so hard on ourselves that you didn't really have to do those types of things with us. But it did happen from time to time. But that's a professional courtesy, I think, more than anything.
Yeah, I just don't. I'm not in that huddle, but Ben's not the ream you out for show kind of guy, to say the least here. Damian says, hey, Moan and DK, do you see the Steelers using Zach Frazier's mobility and demeanor as a weapon, leading Caleb Johnson and Jalen Warren to and through the holes? Do you see him becoming like not just a guy on the line, but maybe in some ways the guy?
Man, yes, absolutely.
Really?
Hell yeah, DK.
Okay.
Sorry for that, but yes, because of this reason right here. Isaac is a little bit older, right? If he's still mobile, you want him in space and doing those types of things. But here's what you do in that moment right there. You can snap and pull and get a guy time to get around. So maybe it is him and the tight end blocking and the front side guard and tackle block down. Like that's one thing I think that helped, that I got to give Coach Haley a lot of credit for, Coach Randy. When they saw a guy like Marquise being able to get in space, it adds a different component to your blocking scheme, because more times than not, the center is either just got a shade on him or it's uncovered. So why would you not pull that guy and give him a better angle on the linebacker or somebody down the field? That is a guy that you want to see highlighted, and I do feel like it would be idiotic to not put him in space from time to time.
We lost Craig Wolfley this offseason, most unfortunately. Yeah. And that doesn't mean you're going to stop hearing references from me about observations that he had, especially of these young guys, because they really resonate, because they came from Wolf, because Wolf is so passionate, not just about the Steelers, but about the offensive line in particular. He's one of those guys that he wasn't just an analyst sitting up in the booth. He was down there in the locker room after games. He was talking to you guys. He was letting you know that he was behind you, that he saw what he saw. He had he shared with me before a game one day this past season an observation about Zach Frazier. He just had something. We had it available to us on a screen. He said, watch this block here. And I saw it. And the beginning of the block was really impressive and everything. And I went, oh yeah. He goes, no. Wait. Yeah. It was probably it the finish? It was the finish down field. Who does that? Who did that? Marquise. Okay. That's what we're talking about here. Right? Dermani, best center of all time. Right. You're talking about players who can do special things. If you have an offensive lineman, any position, any of the five, who can get you two for the price of one, and you can do it with the smoothness, the way in this case, Zach went to one side of one guy and then went downfield and then got another and pushed him out of the way, and Jalen Warren. Yeah. In a straight line around either of the two, like it was a video game. And you know what happens in those moments right there? No matter if the guy hit or misses him, the offensive lineman hits or misses him, the guy that's in front of him, the defender, don't want any of that smoke, DK. So they're going to move out of the way one way or the other, man, and that is a beautiful thing to have. That's what I do like about this line. I'll say this too, because he's my guy, DK. I can't wait to see Troy do this. That's what bus driver L has to say too. He says he just wants to see him grow. The person who is the most excited to see Troy Fautanu on the field, though, by a million miles, is Troy Fautanu. You're going to have to take my word for that. I can't wait. I love that. I'm already getting all of the Mike Webster fans coming in here. They heard me say Dermani. Dermani grades highest of any center who's ever lived. But listen, if you're having a debate among the greatest centers of all time, know that the same list, and it's the Pro Football Reference Hall of Fame tracker is what it's called, lists 3 Pittsburgh Steelers in your top 10. 3 in your top 10. And I don't even have it's so amazing that I don't even have to tell you their names.
No, you know who they are.
You know how many franchises can talk about centers like this?
Come on. Nope.
That position?
Well, here's the other cool part. Inside of that building, like there are certain like groups that have a wall. There's the center wall. So Zach, I think, could. I don't want to go too far too fast.
He's a long way to go.
Yeah, him getting in that conversation. I know what nationally he's getting that notoriety though.
He certainly is inside the football world, and you know what? That has to be where it happens when it comes to positions like this. Not so much, tackles. You see, they get their attention because they're getting paid.
Yeah.
Okay. But with centers, centers and guards, but especially, I think the interior offensive line, it has to be something that makes its way through the fraternity.
You best believe it. Zach's
before it
making
goes anywhere else.
Yep,
and Zach made it like this.
Yep. His leverage is so good, man. Golly, his leverage is so good.
And eventually they get to the point where now it's an Alan Faneca comes onto the field the way he used to, and it was just like, oh yeah, whoa, look, there's Alan Faneca. I mean, that guy's a star. Mm-hmm. And it's just a totally different vibe, but it starts internally here. Bearilla says, do you think that the Steelers will make a splash at free safety? Whereas the idea to just play Juan Thornhill like they did with Minkah Fitzpatrick last season, it felt like playing with 10 players, not 11. All right, enough of that subject already. Do you think the Steelers are going to go with a center fielder? Or let me ask you this. How would you feel about Jalen Ramsey being put at center? Safety.
I would not want him at center. You're dealing with a coach who's historically a DB coach and Coach Tomlin. If asked of him, I think there would be a selling point to be given to a guy like Jalen Ramsey. But if they do choose to go with Thornhill, this is what I would tell you and what I think we can get at right now. I think it was Luke Kuechly giving an understanding of what that defense was a few days ago, DK. My youngest son, Miles, actually sent it to me. You can hide a weakness is what I'm telling you. If you don't feel like that free safety position is there, coach can hide it is what I'm telling you. Terrell Lawson, I will say, I don't know how you guys feel about him, but I think he's a bright mind. I think he understands what he's doing with the weapons that he has, DK.
In the secondary, for sure. I have lots of issues with stuff up front, but yes, in the secondary, yes. And that's his history, too.
Yes, 100%. But what I would tell you is this. The way this team is stacked up right now, okay, you'd be foolish to hold on to the ball and try to take a risk because the defensive front and the linebacking core, I think, has gotten a whole lot better, too, especially with Peyton Wilson going into the second year, too. And I throw him in there, too, with Patrick Queen. DK, that is a monstrous group that's been held together right now. Now, I keep Jalen over to the side. Therefore, you got to pick and choose who do you want to go up against. You want to pick on Joey or you want to go at Jalen because the reputation is still there right now. So, speaking of the safety position, you look at yourself and just say, you know what? We can hide that one. The same way you can hide a backup guard from time to time or a backup center. We still make the playoffs respectively with Cody Wallace at center. You get my drift?
Mm-hmm.
And I love Cody, by the way. That's not a diss to Cody, but Cody wouldn't pounce is what I'm saying. I know we want 11 out of 11 strong players on the team. There's always one duck, usually.
Cody took it so seriously when he had to fill in. Oh, my God.
The best.
It's so bad.
I hate he got injured, man.
I know. But he took it so seriously.
Yeah, he did.
Deadhead says, I think the season comes down to that old line that you should be running the ball in the beginning of the season. It only helps, and it works with that old line. Take some of the pressure off Aaron Rodgers early. It's just kind of getting to what you were talking about with the scheduling of training camp and so forth and some of the stuff. I think if you buy him some time.
Yeah.
And within that, I hate to keep turning every conversation into the offensive line, but that's life.
It's
if
a lot.
You buy
you
the
got a
time,
40-year-old quarterback.
But if you buy time also and a little bit of confidence for that offensive line to feel good about themselves, what what trait of an offense instills more confidence in an offensive line than anything else? It's just running the ball, man.
It also builds trust amongst that group. It also builds the ability to control a football game, which is huge for a guy that's not as mobile as he once was in Aaron Rodgers, and also trying to figure out who's the second and third and fourth wide receiver that you got to go to. So Deadhead, you're 100% spot on. This is where that group, especially with a guy like Troy Fautano that didn't have plenty of reps last year, and that right side got to rebuild itself up. The run game is where it's at first. You get sexy towards the middle and late parts of the season.
I like this one from Tim Hemis. Comes in and says, I had a photo memory come up on my social media. You know those things that Facebook will show you from like 5 years ago or 10 years ago, and it happened to be Ramon's first camp.
09, man. Golly, that was what a head turner that was for me, man. I enjoyed the ride.
All those stars.
You want to hear what's funny about that first training camp? I never forget. I told my wife that when I left Knoxville, I was so dumb and just out of it that I just knew I was going to make the team, though. This is me quietly being confident. I told her, I said, I'll see you on the bye week, DK. I had no idea. I packed up my 2002 Pontiac Bonneville, put my suits in there, all my bags. I was loaded up going to Pittsburgh, man. That was by far one of the dumbest things I ever said, but I say this every single time. In order to make it in whatever you're doing, you got to be dumb, ignorant, wild, unrealistic, because ain't nobody going to believe it but you. And that's where I was in that moment, DK.
I love it. You'd be the guy that would be driving onto campus while that whole group of us reporters is in the back behind the one dorm where we're going to be a week from today.
Yeah,
you know where I'm talking about, where the little asphalt road comes past.
Yeah.
And you'd be the guy in the 2002 Pontiac Bonneville. We wouldn't even notice.
No.
He's just like driving right by. And
one day
he'd be like, I'm here. Hey, anybody need me?
I speak well. You don't want to speak?
Yeah. You'll need me someday. Wait till Chicago and the anthem flap. You'll all be around me.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh. I had no idea, man.
We'll take one more today here, and it comes from Josh Freeland. And it's not a question, but he says strong offensive line play will help with the rhythm that DK keeps mentioning. It's exactly what we need, and it's exactly what we've been missing for a few years. Moan, on my regular programming, I'm using the term rhythm all the time.
Yeah.
And when I say that, I will often cite Le'Veon Bell, D'Angelo Williams, Antonio Brown, and everything would just kind of don't. But to Josh's point, where did it start? When you guys were really feeling it, you can say it even though you were part of it. Where did it start?
As far as our offensive line play?
The rhythm. It's just in general, the rhythm.
The rhythm, to me, I thought it started with 7 more than anything.
That's right.
Then.
That's right. Never forget
7.
that it's about the quarterback, and it's about the reads and the distribution, the boldness, and everything.
The confidence, the boldness. Yeah. Real quick, let me do a quick. I know you got the.
I got
but
nothing.
Legitimately, Josh, your point is this, and DK answer mine was the same, and I was almost like, it's got to be the quarterback, right?
No, you think I'm leading you to the offensive line. It's the quarterback.
It's the quarterback. But here's what a quarterback does for you, and I think this is why Pittsburgh is so ticked off and, just questioning, why didn't you plan for the future? Is because when you have one of those types, and I'm speaking specifically about Ben Roethlisberger, right? Mm-hmm. When you get off the bus, when you go to the plane, when you walk into a stadium, there's no confidence like knowing that we got a shot. Even if we're going to New England, if we got to go to LA, Seattle, Dallas, it doesn't matter because you got the guy. And here's the thing about
say it the way Mike Tomlin would say it. He'd walk
a player.
No. I would actually hear him say this because we would ask him questions. Why did you do that? He'd say, because I got 7.
Because we got 7.
We got 7.
And I can't say it buried Pittsburgh to a fall because it didn't, because Ben gave a lot of memories and history. Some think it went a year or two too far, and I get that too because you want to plan for the future. But when you got 7 or one of those types, that guy never dies. I never forget hearing Willie Colon saying they're going to have to carry my cleats off this field. Like, it's the mentality of those dudes. Like, my feet going to be cemented on this field, man, and you're going to have to deal with me. And I feel like that's the way 7 was too. So whenever we walked into games and we may have had all of Cincinnati against us throwing batteries at us and drinks and stuff like that,
You
it
had
didn't
7.
matter. We got 7.
And he kept coming back. He was knocked out of that game. Then he came back in off the sideline.
You remember
People
what?
forget
So
that
I can
part.
tell that one right there, DK. He walks
Go
into
ahead.
the stand and he's got his play call on his sheet right here, and he's just like, he not looking at us. You want to talk about like getting on you? He didn't have to get on us. He used to just do this. God, he's so slick. He used to do this little thing. He looked down at the car. All right, guys, we got 76 Cadillac. Fellas, I need a little time right here. We get this off, we're gonna go win this game, okay? And we
in
just
Cincinnati.
look, and we just look and be like, yeah, he here. We got 7. He wouldn't look at us. He just say, just give me a little time, and we're gonna go down there and win this game. And by far one of the coldest individuals I've ever been around when it comes to competing, being bold, as you said, being sure in your craft. It don't get no better than knowing that you got a dude, DK. And he quiet as a mouse in them moments right there.
You know, one of the funny things about Ben that people don't know is that he viewed, especially your AFC North rivals, he viewed himself as taking on that city, not that team. It's the craziest thing, but he would do that. Somebody asked him on his show, the show that he does now, which is really good. Can't recommend it strongly enough. He was asked about, would you come out of retirement and play for Cleveland? And he said that wouldn't do them any good because every time I played there, they lost.
I love it.
He's still playing against Cleveland. He's deep into retirement, and he's still beating the Browns.
It was, don't he still got the record when Landry got hurt coming in for the record for a backup quarterback and passing yards and stuff like that? You remember that when he had to come in as a reserve that day?
Ben at one point had more wins in the Browns' own stadium than the actual Cleveland quarterbacks, than any actual Cleveland quarterback for a while. Remember that?
Yeah, I do. I do. To be quite honest with you, too, I hate for anybody to lose their jobs and stuff like that, DK, but business is business and competition is what it is, too. We used to go into that last game and be like, all right, we're going to get another coach fired today.
Oh, jeez. I mean, how couldn't you, though? Everywhere you went inside that facility, we felt it, too.
Yeah.
You go in there and we're like, we actually, as a staff, as reporters, we would say, who's going to handle the Browns fire their coach today? Sidebar.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man.
How many? You must have gotten 5 guys fired.
Easily. And quarterbacks kicked out of town, too. Add that one to the list, DK. Yeah, I already did an episode with Ben, man. Y'all go check that out. We had a blast.
Exactly. When we come back, we're going to take care of a little bit business here on the Ramon Foster Show. Verbs.
At DK Pittsburgh Sports, we take pride in coverage that connects our city's fans to their favorite teams. Now, that connection's stronger than ever. Introducing our all-new state-of-the-art app. Find expert inside reporting and original podcasts. Check live box scores. Track the latest stats. Chat it up with our community of thousands of fans, all in one place. The new app from DK Pittsburgh Sports. Coverage that connects.
We love our community. And Cody Silva came in with a couple of bucks today. Barilla with 5. Cody earlier came in with 10 with his Bill Cowher question here. Our favorite barber, and ideally yours as well, has been a member here for 26 months. Master of Music became a member of today. Brent Haynes with 5 gifts. Thomas did the same. Matthew did the same. Damian did the same. We appreciate all of you guys.
Absolutely.
Carrie's always coming in with the 1. and it's time for Moan, everybody. 1 week away.
Is. We are, and we're going to find we got to talk about a more consistent pattern of probably daily or more than once a week because you guys love it, and I do too. And my wife keeps telling me, Moan, I love that you do the Pittsburgh show because that's your thing.
Well,
You
tell her
guys
about
built
this
that
one
up.
since we put her over on this one. Yeah.
We did. But y'all know how we do, man, when we end the show for the week, man. Listen, call somebody you ain't talked to in a while. Buy somebody a random drink. Have a random conversation. If you don't want to do that, shake somebody's hand. Get to know somebody else that you never thought you would because we all are people and all the same, man. Apologize to somebody you've been holding on to a grudge. It just ain't worth it, man. Life is too short. I always like to say ELE, man. Everybody love everybody, man. We go to the same 6-foot casket as everybody else. Why we going to be mad and try to push each other away from one another, man? But at all costs, man, make it back to us next week so we can do this thing again. One more week.
One more week. Exactly. See you guys next week.
Yes, indeed. Peace.